You are tuned into the New Old Heads podcast, premiered every Thursday at noon at BringingDownTheBand.com and brought to you by No Bad Ideas, Coleman Dental, Printfinity, and Indie CD and Vinyl. Support the New Old Heads by visiting our Patreon at patreon.com/newoldheads.
Episode 162 of the New Old Heads podcast. I am Major 7th. I make pretty good beats, they say. Had to get a used keyboard though over the weekend. I'm excited about it. It works, and it was priced very well. Longevity.
So you said it's a straight MIDI keyboard.
Yeah, it's got the octave function on the end as well as transpose.
49 keys is decent.
Yeah, that's all I need.
It's got any pads?
No pads.
You don't really need pads though.
There's a 𝗏𝗃 keyboard that's all white that has patches that are already in there as well as
But that's kind of irrelevant if you got plugins already.
That's what I thought, but I don't know how exclusive the sound pack is that comes with it. Now it could be, we had access to the suite one time, so I don't know if that's.
Well, you still got the Arturia suite, right?
So it might be already. If that's the case, then I don't need it.
No,
because we already got everything.
No, you don't.
We'll see. Producer talk. I'm sorry, y'all.
Yeah.
My man Lonegevity with the full beard. How are you, sir?
Not full. I mean,
well, it don't connect on that one side, but it's all right. What's good, son?
It's great, man.
How was the holiday?
It was good.
I saw you playing with a cat on Instagram, man.
Yeah, man. I made a friend.
Yeah,
playing with a cat, huh?
Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Was your post flagged?
Not really a pause-worthy moment.
Get your mind out the gutter, brother.
I went down and visited my family in South Carolina, so I got off the plane, came straight here, and here we are.
That boy's dedicated. We see.
But yeah. The cat was cool, man. Like I'm not really a cat person like
Nor
that.
am I.
But this cat was cool.
Yeah, shout out to that cat. Shout out to that cat. It actually seemed like the cat was cool. So
he don't play no games, man.
I see he had a wig he brought downstairs, was getting busy.
He was.
That's a gangster. We see you. Whatever the cat's name is.
He is a gangster.
Yeah. Whatever the cat's name is, we see you. Cross the table fresh to death as always. Fresh off, the bundle of joy. He's back in the game. DJ Jay Diff.
Hey, salutations.
What's good, Pops? How are you?
I'm all right, man.
How's your holiday?
Feeling good.
Yeah.
Hey, I ate real nice.
I bet you did.
The greens was hitting. The stuffing was hitting.
Stuffing and
the
dressing.
mac and cheese.
What about that green bean casserole, man?
Hey, actually, the green bean casserole was hitting.
Was it?
Yeah, my sister-in-law. Sure? Listen, so my sister-in-law found this recipe for a pretty decent green bean casserole that had like a couple different types of cheese in it.
Oh,
and it took it to another level. So yeah, shout out to her. And wifey cooked some really good sweet potatoes.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. You had a nice little
turkey.
Nice.
We had a barbecue turkey and the oven turkey.
Oh, y'all was stunting, huh?
A little bit. It was a good time, man.
Okay. How's the baby?
Baby's good.
Good. Got to come by and see her at some point, man.
Good.
Congratulations again. We shot you out on another episode, but congratulations, brother.
Thank you.
That is a beautiful thing. To my left, voice of Indianapolis, master of ceremonies, Mr. Jay Moore. How are you, sir?
Doing well, man. Had a good holiday.
Yeah.
Went back to St. Louis for a couple of days.
Okay.
Had to thug it out and hop on the Greyhound. Couldn't trust my transmission to get me there. But,
that's tough.
And the Greyhound's not as bad as it used to be. You get on, they got Wi-Fi on the Greyhound.
Okay. Straight shot. No stop.
We stopped like in Effingham.
Oh, okay.
Illinois, but that wasn't that bad.
It's not that expensive either.
No, see, this is what you do because they kind of flipped it kind of how the Megabus did.
Yeah.
The earlier you're going to have to get on the bus, so if you book your ticket 2-3 days out, you'll be able to get on the bus for like $40, $45.
Hey, that's
nice. So like honestly, it might be a tank of gas for
Yeah.
And you don't have to do the driving.
I remember taking a round trip bus on the Greyhound to Atlanta, Georgia in like 98, 99.
That's a nice little trip.
It was like $70 round trip.
That's a long ass trip.
That's a nice trip though.
It was a
Y'all stopped a couple times.
Yeah, we definitely stopped a couple times.
Sometimes you got to worry about
CDs.
The bus people. Because one time I came back on the bus and there was a bunch of prisoners who had just got let out on there.
Oh, that's
on the
tough.
Greyhound?
Oh, yeah. And I'll never forget the conversation they had. They were saying all the things they missed while they were being locked up, like being able to go to the refrigerator, playing PlayStation, and one of the dudes is like, "Oh yeah, and my kids." Which
don't forget that.
But no,
you running the fleece on the bus?
No, I did not run in the fleece.
Come on, man. Come on, man.
But Thanksgiving was good. My dad fried a turkey.
I've never had fried turkey.
He's
Never
seasoned in the game as far as frying turkeys. This might be the best one he's ever made.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was really, really good. I'm mad.
Brought some home.
I'm mad I did not bring any home.
Let me ask y'all a question. Red August
with the fried turkey.
Red August is in the building as well. Good to see him. Have him back in the game. In terms of leftovers, I got a question for y'all. So, what is the cutoff for leftovers? When can I look at you a little suspect where I'm like, fam, you still eating that turkey from last Thursday? What's the cutoff
I have
for the
my
following
last
week?
batch.
You don't want to ask me.
I want to say
Lone, like, I might have some tomorrow.
I have my last batch Monday.
And
then my mom had cooked some greens for me. I put my greens in the freezer.
Okay.
Because I didn't want them to go bad.
So Monday is a good day.
Monday,
you comfortable with Monday?
I had a whole spread Monday.
Okay.
After Thanksgiving.
Tuesday, anyone? Tuesday.
I can go with it depends. Like anything past, like if you still eating turkey that next Friday. No, I mean that depends on the item.
Okay.
Some stuff should be gone within a couple days anyway.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can still be making sandwiches and whatever with that turkey.
All right. But the dressing, the macaroni and cheese, all that. We got to figure something out with that.
It's not bad.
Okay.
Like I wouldn't say that it's gone bad, but I think that you should have expired your Thanksgiving plates by then.
Would you judge me if I was eating a plate of dressing on Friday of this week? Tomorrow?
Yeah.
Possibly.
This week.
Yeah, definitely.
Tomorrow. You judge me?
On Friday, yeah. That's because that's a week and a day. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just asking. Still in there heating up in the company lounge.
What if I thought out? What if I
got
thought
the break
out?
room stinking.
Yeah. What if I thought out greens on tonight for the episode?
Different.
Because you hit pause on them greens.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just asking. I don't even know.
You don't throw away no good batch of greens, man.
Facts.
You gotta get them in the freezer.
That's a fact.
Quick.
Lone, how was your greens for Thanksgiving?
I had green beans. And my aunt knows I don't like green bean casserole, so she stopped cooking it, which is great.
Shout out to Auntie for doing that.
And she can cook. Now I don't do leftovers at all.
Okay.
Except for maybe turkey. So we had a ham when I get down there, Wednesday. So she cooked a ham. And then she cooked turkey the next day.
Okay.
So turkey and ham I'm cool with in general. But have you guys ever had like I don't know what they call it, bean soup almost?
Bean soup.
It's like beans, but you put ham in it, and it's.
Oh yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
She cooked kind of a mean bean soup.
Was
Now,
that was good?
I didn't eat it because I don't do leftovers.
Had his bowels going.
And,
he said he didn't mess with it.
Nope.
She made that to clean you out.
Yeah.
Of all the Thanksgiving.
She made me something separate just because she cares about me. But yeah.
So you don't mess with like a nice pot of stew that then sat for like a day or two.
That's still
I can do
spaghetti.
Spaghetti, leftover spaghetti.
Yes.
Come on, man.
Man, I'm cool.
Anything that you
cool.
make
even the
that has
day.
a base of like tomato and meat and veggies.
Sometimes
let
it's
that shit
better the next
marinate.
day.
Yeah.
See,
Spaghetti
I
has
know
life.
it.
Chili?
I know chili maybe.
All day.
But people a lot of times say that leftovers are better than or food's the best like the next day type shit. I'm not that. Like,
there's some stuff that
it makes me literally like cringe and almost gag just thinking of it.
Really?
Like,
That's serious.
especially when I make a pot of chili.
Yeah.
I know
I love chili
good
though.
and well
Chili's different.
that next day or
It's gonna
two
be fire.
it's gonna be hitting.
Yep. It's gonna be
because all those flavors have melted
Chili's
together.
different.
Yeah.
Chili's definitely
Oh,
different
yeah.
because I love chili, but I like dressing and beans and fucking
Dressing still fire.
dressing it. I guess soggy.
It's already kind of soggy.
I
know.
I stretch the dressing out.
I
though.
already don't really like dressing, so it's like extra soggy. I don't want to chew on a fucking
You
sponge, man.
This is how you gotta do it though. So I strategically set my Thanksgiving plate up. It goes the macaroni and cheese is right next to the sweet potatoes, which is right next to the stuffing.
All right.
I put all of those right together.
It's almost like a color wheel of food.
Yeah, but I might get a dab of each one,
Very monochromatic.
or I might just keep getting the macaroni and the sweet potato. That combination is really good.
I'm country, so I'm it don't really
I'm
matter.
hit
That's
all
what you
three
say.
of them.
You say you're country.
Country. It don't matter to me.
Yeah.
For the most part, I'm just, if
Yeah.
it mixed together, it is what it is.
You trying to say country people don't separate their food?
That's exactly what I'm
That's
saying.
not necessarily true.
That ain't true.
I definitely have country roots, and some of my people don't like their food to touch.
Well, shout out to my folks in the South that I guess keep their food separated. I apologize.
Do you like it when like the green bean casserole goo
No,
drips
see, the
in
green,
to
the green
mac and
is
cheese
juice.
We
goo?
were doing so well.
Maybe
We
the
were
collard
doing
You put your
green
spoon.
juice.
You put your spoon in the goo and eat
Only Lone would say
The
green
goo.
bean casserole goo.
No.
What the hell is that?
Maybe a little bit of the green juice might leak over into the stuffing.
it. Ugh.
That's good. That's good eating, man.
Is it?
He know what
It
I'm talking
is.
about. All right,
Cut
man.
you up a tomato, put it on top of your greens.
Yes, sir. That's country.
You need
That's
some.
what I'm talking about.
Get some cornbread or some rolls and
Sop.
soap
Yeah.
up.
No,
sop
sop.
up the goo.
Yeah,
Is that
he
what you
said
do?
soap.
I don't know what the goo is.
Well, soap up. Soak is what I meant to say. Soap,
Yeah.
not soap.
Just
But-
sop.
But so
You can say
so,
sop.
So you don't use a spoon to merge the goos. You use a roll or some cornbread.
Yeah.
Red August, man. Good to see you, brother. Because clearly, I don't know what's going on.
He said
over
the
here.
goose.
The goose.
You know exactly what I'm talking about.
He don't like the goose.
I don't
Yo,
fuck with the goos.
Y'all know I
man.
shout out anything. So
Man, it's
shout out
okay
to-
when the cornbread get a little bit of sog
Yeah.
on it.
You know what pot liquor is?
If you like that, that's great.
You know what pot liquor is?
Pot liquor?
Yeah. It's very important with greens.
I don't really eat greens.
We'll talk
like
about it later. We'll talk about
that. Is
it
it like a ham hock?
No.
That's the flavor of the greens.
Oh, my.
Right. That's why I've never heard pot liquor before.
All right, man. Let's get into the
Or
rundown.
Sounds like
turkey
some,
leg.
Sounds like some drugs. Some
All
pot
right,
liquor.
man. Let's get into the rundown. Shout out to green bean casserole goof or whatever it's called. So he crazy, man.
With French onions on the top.
Yeah. No French onions? Okay, cool. So the
Caramelized.
I see you. The rapper Noname, who I still am not that familiar with, I'll be honest, from Chicago, says she is fed up with her fan base, if I understand this correctly. She says she's threatening to fall back from rap. And on last Thursday, she revealed that she's pretty much fed up in terms of her fan base of people that show up to the show. She says, and this is a tweet with a picture of a woman in a clown, I guess clown makeup or
Was
mask
it the
or something.
Denzel thing?
Might have been Denzel. I'm not sure. I didn't.
Or
get to
Morgan
see the post.
Freeman? Maybe.
I'd have to pull it up. I could
Yeah.
pull it up. But the caption said, "This is me consistently creating content that is primarily consumed by a white audience who would rather shit on me than challenge their liberalism, because somehow liking Lizzo's music absolves them of racist tendencies." And then she continued to go on and said, "My black fans are all in my mentions talking about what do you mean primarily white? We support the fuck out of you," is what their fans were saying. Clearly proving that, and then she says clearly proving that they've never been to a show. And it says, "Y'all really pushing the idea that black people can't come to my shows because of Black death, financial restraint, as if the Baby, Meg Thee Stallion, and Smino shows ain't full of black people." I'm paraphrasing here, or shows are black as hell. I'm like, okay, that's a lot to unwrap. I didn't think about, I guess, an artist looking at their fan base that much. It's like, yo, like, I've never seen a take like this before. Like, she's almost like, she doesn't necessarily like the fan base that she's performing in front of, but I'm like, are your shows sold out? Like, did you not think about your demographic? This is a little confusing to me. What do you think, Lo, in terms of this, in terms of where she's coming from? Does it make sense?
I feel like I have to be delicate with this, but she sounds bitter.
Okay.
From an artist standpoint, it sounds like she feels like she should be able to choose who likes her music.
Right. That's weird.
She's not the first person to speak. She's not the first black person to speak on having all white crowds. Murs has a song I know on 316. It's called "And This Is For," talking about all white people. Actually, go listen to that song because
Good point of reference.
literally talks about the same thing she's talking about.
Okay.
You know, like, I mean, you really gonna get mad at the people that are coming to your shows?
That's what I'm saying. That's my question.
I don't know, but historically speaking, in hip hop, she definitely isn't the first black artists to have mostly white crowds, if that is the case.
I mean, that's been the ongoing trend, musically speaking, as far as being a consumer is concerned. So the way it's been. I mean, if you look at the NWA movie, Straight Outta Compton, when they were performing, they were performing in front of predominantly white crowds after they left the kind of club scene.
Right.
So once
they got mainstream.
Once it became mainstream, more white people consumed it. And that's how it is, period, though. Over a lot of shows or things that happened in the past or up to this day, there's just that's just how it is. It's like they want I can't really speak for the white people that attend the shows. Maybe they just want to see the cultural difference, or they are actually fans. I don't know, because I mean, people go through phases. There are a lot of people that listen to hip hop and then they retire from listening to hip hop. It's kind of was like a young thing.
But rap is always connected, or been a bridge for kids from the suburbs to kind of come over and experience
some culture, right?
Yeah, through music, right?
Right.
So that part that doesn't necessarily shock me. It's just more about the concept of her actually overanalyzing her fan base. Like that's a little weird to me, because
I mean, I get where she's coming from, though. Okay. I mean, she would prefer it if her crowd was less Caucasian.
Yeah.
It sounds like she's more mad at black people than she is the white
people.
100%.
For sure. 100%. Yeah.
Because as she mentioned, Smino and
the Baby and Meg Thee Stallion.
Right.
But it's weird.
But it's a different type of music, though.
True.
It's just weird to get mad at people in that way.
Who pay money to see you.
That's my point. That's where I'm coming from. Jump in, Jay Moore.
Well, this has been an ongoing conversation. I remember comment on the Things Fall Apart, making talking about him and the Roots, really pretty much saying, hey, sometimes we look out into the crowd and it's nothing but coffee shop chicks and white dudes.
Facts.
Questlove has talked about how in the Dave Chappelle documentary, The Block Party, about there's a conflict, not really a conflict, but Dave Chappelle and the Roots have largely white audiences. I've been going to see the Roots at different times for at least 25 years now.
The Roots are Jimmy Fallon's band.
Yeah.
Facts.
And
that's a fact.
But even before that, if the crowd wasn't 50-50, it was mostly white people there. I mean, and that's just, honestly, that's hip hop. I mean, even when you're talking about the real militant stuff, I've been to a Dead Prez show and it was mostly white
Public
people.
Enemy.
And
Public Enemy,
And it was like no black women there at all. It was white women and Asian women outnumbered the black women at a Dead Prez show. And if you don't know what Dead Prez content is about, go ahead and look it up, because I want you to check it out. But at the same time, if you do, then that should be, it is kind of a weird dynamic as far as who actually supports the music financially, and who the artists find themselves making it for. It really is. It's a crazy dynamic, because if you're in America and you're successful as any type of artist, you have that white fan base.
Yeah.
They say any movie that makes more than $15 million, 10, some maybe around 15, 20 due to inflation. That movie has gone mainstream. You can't get to more than $20, $25 million at the box office with just black people going to go see it.
What about the piece about Lizzo? Why'd she bring Lizzo up?
I think Lizzo's a punching. I mean, like, we've joked about it a little bit. That wasn't even really about her music, but right now Lizzo's kind of a punching bag, I feel, for certain people in the industry, because she's so successful and she got 7 Grammy nominations, and plus
she's probably gonna take home about 3 of them
at least.
And plus, like, it's weird because I'm like, she's not a new artist, but she's up for New Artist of the Year, and then there are other people who were disqualified from being in that new artist category because they said, they had mixtapes, which everything is an album now. I don't care if it's a playlist or a mixtape. Yeah. If you put it out and you can stream it, that's an album.
I'm cool on that.
But, I think there is, and the thing is, like, sometimes when I see Lizzo and her crowds, I'm like, are they laughing with her? Or are they laughing at her?
Right.
That's my only real concern, because
Lizzo's definitely a special case, because with Lizzo, as a hip hop podcast, people that love hip hop, if you listen to Lizzo, you're not considering that hip hop at all.
No.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
There are raps in it, but that's not rap music.
It's not rap music. It's very poppy, and it's very inviting to somebody that's not really in hip hop.
Yeah, and
simple as that.
And I know, as somebody who has thrown many independent shows in Indianapolis, that if I was to book a Noname, or let's go away from Noname. Let's just say the Sky Zoo and 𝗀𝗲 show that I almost bid on.
I'd have been there.
I'm banking on those white people showing up so that I can pay them.
Yeah, the college kids.
You know what I mean? Like that's part of it. You know, like that's a huge part of the underground hip hop fan base.
When we saw when we sat down with Odyssey, you know, and you know, had the interview with him, and you know, met the crew and everything. When we came downstairs and you know, we got a chance to get into the hi-fi and get settled in before they came out, that was a predominantly white crowd. I remember being there. You know what I'm saying? Now, Odyssey's a dude from DC, the DMV area, Go-Go, Wale, all that. But in that room, it's what, 80-20? You were there. Probably, what, 80-20, would you say?
I don't remember.
I'd say more.
Think about a Wu-Tang show,
I'd say about
though.
60-40.
60-40?
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe I was a little
But still, that's still a majority.
But you get what I'm saying.
Like for someone who
It
makes unapologetically black music, and this is very
that's
common.
what I'm talking about.
It's a strange thing to see that a lot of, as far as a live audience, the majority of the people who are there are not black people.
Yeah.
And maybe that's part of her point.
Yeah.
You know, so I can't really speak on her music or anything. I'm not really a huge fan of hers, but
I'm not that familiar. I can't front.
And I don't know a ton of her material, but you know, I hope she has continued success, and I hope she doesn't quit like she says she was going to.
I mean, it's just it's part of the game that you got into.
Yeah.
Like I was gonna talk about Wu-Tang. Wu-Tang are from the hood. Music is grimy, is gritty, is, you know what I'm saying, it's real.
For sure.
But fast forward to now, between the time that they actually came out, which was what, 92, 93?
Yeah, 93.
Yeah,
93. How many people do you see putting up a W and pretty much
Still see it.
exploiting the Wu-Tang symbol?
How many Wu-Tang tattoos do you see?
How many fake Wu-Tang pieces of gear do you see?
Yeah.
You can
They
buy
every-
a Wu-Tang
you
shirt
go to
at
Target.
Target. Yeah.
They everywhere. Yeah.
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
This is Wu-Tang street shit. But it's not, it's commercialized now.
Yeah, 100%.
It's very popular. So, I mean, once you get into the hip hop game, once the door is open for you, you might as well embrace it.
Yeah.
It's if she really wants to fight this battle, it's definitely going to be an upward battle. So
Yeah.
You know, if she doesn't have music that's really played on the radio, I don't know. It's a hard thing, because like it's I hate to say it out loud, but if your songs aren't on the radio, the majority of the people who are going to come to see you are not going to be black.
Yeah.
That's my experience. Because, like, you know, when I see the videos, because Rick Ross was in Indianapolis recently, and then I see the videos of Meg Thee Stallion at that same venue, I say it was I mean, there were plenty of white people there, but I would still say it was a majority black crowd. And those are people who have big songs on the radio at any given time.
Right.
But, you know, when you're talking about somebody like Odyssey, if you don't know Odyssey, then you don't know Odyssey. You have to be, I don't want to marginalize anybody, but you have to be a real music fan, a real fan of hip hop.
Yeah.
I think
to
that's
really
a fair
get
You gotta be
involved.
real rounded, because
You know.
I remember the night that that Odyssey was here.
Yeah.
I went to Odyssey show.
Yep.
Maxie actually had a show that night too.
Yeah, he did.
I went to Maxie show as well. And I remember somebody making a statement about how many people were at Maxie's versus Odyssey's, and I was like, well, I'm a fan of both, and I made sure to attend both of them. You know what I'm saying? But they're both, even though they're both hip hop shows, you're seeing different crowds. You know what I'm saying?
Way different.
It's
Way
a
different.
different demographic too,
Right.
based on styles.
Style and appeal.
I mean, and that just shows you how vast and diverse just the genre of hip hop is.
Right.
You know, there is certain people who have, when we say Odyssey, they have no idea who we're talking about.
That's a fact.
But then at the same time, there are people who are, you know, we have a real hardcore, I would say, you know, very serious hip hop audience, and they couldn't tell you one Megan Thee Stallion song, even though her music comes on the radio every 15 minutes.
You're looking right at them.
There you go.
There it is. I mean, she has a right to her opinion, so who am I to say she can't think that way? It was interesting to me to hear someone take that take, but hey.
But I would say if somebody's paying $25 to come see you, then you should just be thankful.
Be thankful for that, man.
I think it also has to do with a lot of anxieties, and these new artists are making it and are seeing what it's really like. So you have Noname, and Summer Walker has actually been on, like, she doesn't want to do this anymore. Yeah. Because she's seeing what it actually is.
Yeah.
And she wasn't even saying from just seeing white people.
Yeah.
Just seeing people freaks her out.
In general.
Period. Yeah.
Is like messing with her psyche.
Yeah.
And she's not liking it. So she's like, after this, I might be done. So you got to kind of credit it to people's anxieties too, as far as what they're saying versus them being a mean or despiteful person or ungrateful even. So you got to kind of factor that stuff into it.
You know, but also at the same time, like, I know people that get a lot of anxiety around a lot of white people.
Yeah.
So,
True.
I mean, I get it. I understand, you know.
Especially if you're not from a situation when you're around a lot of white people. I saw that just when I went to college. There are certain people that they had never been around that many white people, and they're in, you know, they had all black neighborhood, all black teachers, all black coaches. You get to Southern Illinois and you're surrounded by white people. It's enough to mess with some people's heads if you're
Culture
not really
shock, for sure.
if you've never experienced that.
That's where that really corny white dude that grew up that gets thrust into the all black situations comes from as well.
Or just even a little bit black situation. Like
that's true. That's very true.
In that, on that same token, when I got to
what's up, bro?
Yeah. I got
What's up, dog?
Hey, homie.
Can I call you T-Dog?
Yeah. No, just Terrence will do.
Yeah.
No, and they get around. They've literally been around no black people. You know, only black people they know are the ones that come on TV.
Yeah.
And that's not always the best look.
Yeah.
No?
And
I know them.
And they're figuring it out on the fly. It's like they're making mad mistakes as they try to figure it out. And it's super uncomfortable.
Like, I don't always need a high five. You can just shake my hand like a man. It's all good.
Yeah.
Wanna go shoot some hoops, bro? All right, man. How you know I play basketball?
Yes.
I can't even hoop, man.
The fact that you knew that I wanted to go shoot hoops.
I want to go play chess, motherfucker. Now, can we go
about
do
that?
that?
And go play some lacrosse, Mike?
Yeah.
All right. No,
Polo,
you don't.
Polo,
Little rugby.
You trying to ride around on a horse and hit a ball?
No, I'm not.
Hit a
We got some
thing with a
Hennessy
stick?
over in the room if you'd like to come through.
I know you guys love Hennessy.
You know, it was a really bad one. Then we can move on. I remember I met this dude, and he's like, oh, yeah, I know a guy that went to SIU. Of course, he named one other black person. And he's like, and then in my mind, I'm like, why would you just automatically assume that I knew him? It was messed up because I knew him.
Like, you guys are roommates or something? Or I thought you guys had been
I
roommates.
thought you were cousins.
He stayed on the second floor. I was on the first. I knew exactly who he was talking about. But the fact that he said it.
You should be like, nah, I don't know him. I don't know him.
But there's
Never
a
saw
picture,
him.
you guys. That's why I asked.
The picture's lying, goddamn it. I don't know it. All right, man. Let's see. So Whack 100. He's been in the news, man. He was with what's my man name? Adam 22, is that his name?
Yeah,
That's,
No Jumper podcast.
DJ Vlad's illegitimate son. That guy.
I think they're like nephews and
Yeah,
cousins.
they gotta
or
be related.
Cousins or some shit.
I don't think they are.
Not
but they,
really.
Oh, okay.
They show cut from the
But
same
the way
cloth.
I
that
was
you
about to say,
said-
damn, that makes sense.
Yeah.
See, yeah.
They show cut from the same cloth.
Yeah.
Asking artists with projects out about, not about the projects, but how they sold dope. Like, that's usually their line of questioning.
How many bodies you got, you think?
Yeah. The rappers be sitting down, they're like, yeah, man, I got blah, 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 blah. It's about to come out next month. Vlad's like, okay, yeah. So did you have any parents? I'm like, and then, but they tell their story. So it's 50-50, but fam.
Were you on welfare?
Yeah, like, so do you still talk to your mom, or is she living, or did she get shot, or what are we doing here?
He does always throw that one hook in there.
The funniest thing that
what would you do right now if your mom came back?
Would you say hi?
And
Would you
sat down? Like,
would you say hi? Would you sell her drugs? Would you kill her?
Yeah, like what do you think your mom would say right now? Would you be mad at her still because she didn't raise you right? Were you raised right? What line of questioning, man?
How many baby mamas you got?
Yeah, are they black? How many do you have?
The funniest thing Vlad did is when he had 6ix9ine's baby mom on, and she was reading the indictment,
and she could barely read.
And she was like, "Should I go on?" Vlad is like, "Yeah, read that shit."
He had a hard on one.
He said, "I'm gonna save this for later."
Yeah, I'm gonna cut this up
We're gonna
real
do this
nice.
I'm gonna have 35 flashbacks the next time I mention 6ix9ine with somebody. Come on, man. Anyway, so Wack was with Blueface, who was eating like sunflower seeds during the whole interview. That shit was getting annoying. I could barely make it through it. He's sitting literally off on the second mic to the side of Wack, eating sunflower seeds in a microphone, spitting them into a cup or something stupid like that.
He thought he was Trey.
Yeah, he thought
What
it
was
Trey.
Trey eating though?
Jay Moore can't
Grapes.
answer the question.
Was
I
it
thought he was eating
grapes?
some grapes.
Okay.
They're too small. They're not grapes.
I think they're raisins.
I think it was something like raisins. Yeah, it's too small.
Whatever.
Anyway, Wack is basically going like he's adamant about the fact that Nipsey Hussle is not a legend. He was not a legend prior to him passing away, and he's basing this off the criteria of album sales and number of projects. So
That don't matter.
I'm like, okay. So I think T.I. posted a comment like what the actual legal definition for legend is, and it talks about impact and et cetera. Like goes into details about impact and impacting people or whatever you want to call it. Here's my question. Here's my thing though. So I got a handful of people. I'm just asking. I'm trying to play devil's advocate here. So to me, he's saying that someone like, let's use Mac Dre as an example, right? So Mac Dre has probably, I think I looked up 10 or 11 projects. None of them shits was charting. So he's a legend because of what? Like,
he's a Bay Area legend.
All right. So are we
And
saying?
if you go to the Bay and tell them that he's not a legend,
Okay.
you're going to have some
get run
problems.
about the Bay.
Thank you. So I know Big had 2 albums, and he said, yeah, but Big sold 10 million records. I said, okay, so you're saying that album sales, if you get 2 albums and you sell a lot, that makes you a legend? Like, I'm trying to strip down what we're talking about here. To me, this criteria is trash. It has nothing to do with stripping someone's legendary status because they didn't move X amount of records or didn't put X amount of projects out. Nip
It's
had
bigger than the music at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
But it always is. Legendary status is always bigger than the music.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. That's just my opinion. But I
Because
totally disagree with
even
this
back
shit.
to when you brought up
Mac Dre?
Mac Dre.
Yeah.
Mac Dre influenced that whole coast.
Facts.
Influence,
So
man.
regardless of if you actually heard Mac Dre,
Right.
you heard Mac Dre
Okay.
through somebody else.
Hyphy movement, all that.
All that shit. I mean,
Yeah.
E40 tapped into it.
Yep.
Too Short tapped into it.
For sure.
I mean, the whole Ghost Ride, the Whip, the Go
Yeah.
Dumb, all that shit. That's
The whole
Mac
Thiz
Dre.
movement,
Thiz,
yeah.
yeah. That's all Mac Dre. So
So
you didn't even have to see Mac Dre to know that you were being influenced by Mac Dre.
So is Big L a legend? That's my question.
Big L.
He had 2 albums. None of them shits was charting.
But it's not about.
No, I'm just using his criteria.
Big
I know.
L influenced quite possibly
Yeah.
the biggest hip hop artist out right now.
Yeah. Jay-Z.
Jay-Z.
Big L's. Come on.
It's just like it's so much bigger than just what
He was
they
digging in the
did.
crates.
It's bigger than what they did and what they put out. It's bigger than just the music that you know.
Pun
It's-
dropped 2 albums.
Pun is absolute. You know how
I say he's a legend.
because of his influence.
Makes sense to me.
Influence is to me. Influence is very very closely correlated to legendary status. Even though legendary status is just like our goat top. I mean goat talk.
Oh, we were doing our.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
all
different
subjective,
criteria.
right?
Yeah.
I mean, like
100%.
You know, Mac Dre. Obviously, to what Terry say, you can't go in the Bay and say Mac Dre's not a legend, right?
Nah,
No.
that ain't gonna work well.
And then when you talk about Nip was a legend beyond music. You know what I'm saying? He's a legend because of his influence locally, what he did for Crenshaw, his influence on trying to keep kids on the right path.
Yeah.
Throwing money and putting time and energy into things that he saw fit to amass, younger people coming up with a better mind frame.
Right.
And enrich his own community that he's
Right.
from.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So there's no way he's not a legend.
So
and even if it's just legendary status for where he's at, that should be enough.
Yeah.
to me, like to your point about Mac Dre, and you think about Nip, it's like even with Big L, Big Pun, the legacies live on so far after they've passed. Like to me, that's a huge factor in it. Because
his funeral was at Staples Center.
you Choke No Joke was like.
That's
well,
all
I
really.
have to tell you about that one. That's a whole nother story.
Mm-hmm.
Michael Jackson was the last person at a funeral at Staples Center.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Like that had to be bigger than music. I mean, as much, God bless the dead, when Badass passed away a couple of weeks ago,
Yeah.
people didn't run out to buy Badass albums and, check for his features.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's nothing against him because,
we mentioned it.
I know
Yeah,
his
we mentioned it.
his friends and his family miss him just like Nip's fans and friends miss him and his family, but the impact just was not the same. You can't compare it. Every rapper that dies him dying has nothing to do with him being a legend.
No. If we want to like compare musical catalogs, and I don't mean to make this controversial at all, but
Right.
Mac Miller was a great artist.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I would put Nipsey over him in legendary status simply because of his impact.
Impact and influence.
Based off wax criteria, Mac Miller would be the legend.
For sure.
You see what I'm saying? You see where I'm going?
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm a Mac Miller fan.
Yeah,
Love
I
his
am
material.
too. I am too.
So we talked about it when he passed, like huge fan.
But Nipsey was so much more than music.
Impact. Impact is the operative word here. Impact.
And not that Mac wasn't, but not at the level that Nipsey was.
Nah.
I mean, Wiz sells out shows
Yeah.
every year.
Yeah.
Would you regard him as a legend? Wiz Khalifa.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Just got some more work to do.
Yeah, I mean,
But he tours strong every year.
I mean, that's great.
to some,
To some people, maybe.
I think that's the
take
answer. That's the answer.
You know what?
To some
in
people.
Pittsburgh, because he's really other than maybe Sam Snead, he is a legend.
Just
I
like
gotta
Mac.
give that
People
up
that's
to
say he's
people
a
in
legend.
Pittsburgh. So
Just like Mac. Mac is the same way. He has
but
his
when you
fans.
look at it, Nip never had a worldwide or even a USA tour as big as Wiz.
Facts.
But
Absolutely.
Nip's connection to people was bigger than Wiz's.
there are people who never listened to any of Nipsey's music who felt he was a legend.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And just to throw that out there, Victory Lap is incredible. So he's got
Slauson
one.
Boy is incredible.
So Nip has a classic. Some of these other, Wiz Khalifa doesn't have a classic.
Think about it though. But Nip has what?
Cushion
9?
OJ's pretty good though.
Close.
It's good.
Isn't that a mixtape too?
It is, but it's
Yeah,
fucking
it's
good.
an album.
He
Everything
had
is an album.
Yeah, Nip probably had 9 projects, 8 or 9 projects that he released. Now you can call them what you want, but they trying to make it seem like Victory Lap was just
his
the
own-
first
Yeah.
thing he put out ever. I'm like, nah, if you really go back, like he had Bullets
been
with No
dropping.
Name, like it's a series of those, like Slauson Boys, 2 of those,
Yeah,
if I'm not
Slauson
mistaken.
Boy 1 and 2.
Yeah.
At least 12 years.
And both of those got heat.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So the Marathon, he had the Crenshaw mixtape, all of that. Like it's heat on there. So
Nip was in the Source when the Source was popular.
yeah.
Well, there you go.
I mean, think about it. So when we talk about names, we throw names around, right? Like here's an interesting one. Keep in mind what you both said about regional, right? When we talk about regional, we talk about people that are legends in certain regions. Shawty Low. You can't go to Bankhead and
He's
not
an
find
Atlanta
somebody that's
legend.
gonna say that he's not a legend.
He's an Atlanta legend.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like when Done
same-
It All come on, people go People
Here.
go crazy when that come on.
Imagine being in a club in Atlanta.
That's what I'm saying.
In the same way Mac Dre is.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And I mean I know that record was big, but come on, man. Like you can't do numbers to validate Shorty Low as being a legend. It's deeper than that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
It's just really corny to even have an argument against it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Like, why would you
Especially
argue?
when you're rapping Blueface.
Yeah.
So you have a real Crip versus a fake Crip. You're rapping the fake Crip,
yeah.
diminishing the real Crip.
Yeah.
And your name is Whack 100.
And the fake Crip has nothing to say about Nipsey.
Nothing.
Never speaks on him. As a Crip, never speaks on him. As a Crip. That's interesting.
You have different sets of Crips that speak on Nipsey. You have Bloods that speak on Nipsey. But you have Blueface who's mute on Nipsey.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here.
I saw a video there was a video that surfaced online, on YouTube, I should say. And it was a dude that was who knows, a 19. I'm just going off what I see. That was super upset that Blueface didn't say anything about Nipsey passing away. And he was like, man, how can you claim the set in the 60s and all this, or whatever set he's claiming, and not mention Nipsey at all? And everybody's finding that odd. Like, dudes in the streets are finding that odd. And it's just like, kind of made me think about what you said with the fake Crip stuff. Like, come on, man. Because he avoids it. He won't speak about it. And I find that very interesting.
Yeah.
Did he know him?
I mean,
he doesn't even have to know him, though, to be an artist that came up in California,
claiming
Crip. There's no way that you should not acknowledge Nip.
That's like saying he wouldn't.
But that's like saying
he wouldn't acknowledge Snoop.
You know, that's part of my point.
Yeah,
you know,
like you. I see where you're going. Yeah,
yeah.
It's just corny, man. Like I disagree with it. Like I see people, people are going up from the other side and talk about, well, man, this person sold this amount of records and you got to take that into consideration.
I mean, it matters to an extent, but
I'm not basing it
but
on
once
that.
You get to like the Nipsey level or somebody that's got that type of influence, that shit gets thrown out.
Yeah, I'm cool. I'm cool on that concept.
We're not comparing numbers between Biggie and Nipsey. Like,
nah.
What? No.
And Big sold records. You know what I'm saying? So I'm cool on that concept, man. I disagree, but
I mean, we have local legends. We have legends here in Indianapolis that people outside of Indianapolis have never heard of.
Exactly.
100%, and some that do. I have people that know them outside of Indianapolis.
For sure.
We've
had one on the show. So how's that?
That's a fact. So don't get it twisted. Like, there are levels to legendary status. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So yeah, I think Nip's a legend, man. But I also was a fan, as the majority of us were, prior to all of this victory lap stuff. Like, we were listening back then. So let's shout out the partners real quick before we continue. Shout out to Dr. Coleman Dental in Broad Ripple. Get your teeth right. Lone, do you know the number?
317-255-8546.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, that's it. I can't see because of you, so I'll just do the first part. Bringing down the band, as always, is the hub. Make sure you go there. Also, subscribe when you go to YouTube. Hit that bell for notifications so that you can get the updates when we drop albums, when we drop the podcast. Any type of content that we have that comes up to bring down the band.
Singles that you'll never hear anywhere else.
We put a lot of jewels up there, random joints, rare joints. So, we try to keep y'all laced with heat, so you can, get that experience with the culture. Because Lone stays in the crates. We all are people that I would consider us all people that stay in them crates. So you never know what type of heat you might see on Bring Down the Band. So make sure you subscribe, so you can get that notification bell anytime anything comes up. For Bring Down the Band. Shout out to No Bad Ideas as well. They always lace us. I got a hat on now. They take care of us. They always have been a partner with us from day one.
Oh, you grabbed that joint from the back last week, eh?
Yeah, so back to the partners.
I just now realized.
Yeah, shout out to the partners.
I mean, that's
gotta rep the brand. You know what I'm talking about? Don't do that, Jay. No. We ain't gonna go back. Don't worry about it. Don't even worry about it. Jay Moore in the gutter. Don't even worry about it. Shout out to NECD and Vinyl. They take care of us on the wax. Red August over there giggling. It's good to hear that again, man. NECD and Vinyl, they take care of us on the wax. Also, Patreon / New Old Heads as well. We got to get our subscriptions up for people to become patrons. We got some good stuff planned. We got some good stuff that we already had, but we need y'all support. I mean, you can be the $1 holla. We got options. Make sure y'all come through because we got a big 2020 coming up next year. We got some things planned. So any type of support we appreciate, whether it's YouTube, Patreon, whatever.
Because the people who do subscribe, they win all the time.
Yes, they just keep getting heat over and over again.
Nice pieces of vinyl and hats, and they got socks and scarves and things coming
James
up soon.
Out here, boy, he's like a new No Bad Ideas rep. But he got like he out here eating. So, I mean, you missing out on good product. You know, shout out to Printfinity as well. Jay Diff is the CEO of that brand. He's got some cool things coming, man. I'm telling you, he got an artist, boy. It's going.
This mystery artist, I swear.
Can't wait till they see that longevity line. It's unveiled. No,
it's gonna be cold, man. Yeah, we got some things planned.
And I have my line of athletic pimp wear coming out next with 2020. That's gonna be the wave
with the thick and thin socks.
Jay Moore got a line of
some gators you can play ball in. Man,
yeah. Jay Moore got a line of. You know, the good thing about Printfinity is he's versatile. So, Jay Moore got a line of Easter suits that's gonna come out. It's gonna be cold, wide leg,
bringing that Steve Harvey cut back,
double breasted,
yeah.
six buttons on the blazer. You know what I'm talking about? Like it's gonna
just
be
enough room to see the top of the tie.
Mm-hmm. All pastel colors.
Yeah, all pastel colors, man. So make sure you check Jay Moore out next Easter. That boy gonna be in that thing. You know what I'm talking about? All right,
Pastor Moore,
Kansas City back, aka Pastor Moore. I might start using that one. I think I can get that one to stick. All right. Let's talk about some music before we get out of here. So, the Griselda crew finally dropped What Machine Gun Do. That's their first actual major release. Raekwon is on the intro, just doing Raekwon stuff, talking that slang. You know what I'm talking about? Let's see. Production is Derringer and
Beat Butcher.
Yeah, Heat.
Yeah, he slept on. People don't know about Beat Butcher.
Hey, from what I heard, from the production standpoint, there's some slappers on here.
Yeah, I think I've got my. Maybe this has already been announced, or maybe it hasn't. My theory behind them bringing Beat Butcher on board is so that they can make that grimy sound and make it all original
without having to clear samples. Yeah, which is still an expensive thing, no matter if you got Rock Nation them or not.
Yeah,
like you still going to have to pay that bread for them samples.
But Beat Butcher's a fool.
Yeah, he's an absolute fool. I'm not up on him as much as you, but I know the name, but I know he got heat. So from what I heard on this project, man, it's the joints that stood out to me. The joint with 50 is called City on the Map. That's cold. There's a joint called Dr. Birds that's cold. Chef Dreads, that's number 2. I mean, Benny and Conway, they just in their bag. Like, that's the best way I can describe it. Like, a lot of back and forth on some Styles P, Jada type chemistry. West Side Gun come in and do his swag rap over the top of it or whatever. But that meat and potatoes is in there with Benny and Conway. You got to listen, right, Jay?
I did. I guess the best way to describe it for me is it's a perfect kind of wintertime album.
Yeah,
like
makes me want to put a fucking coat on.
Triple Fat Goose.
If there was ever a project of theirs that just feels like Buffalo, like in the wintertime, this is it. I mean, I mean, of course, I'm a fan. Spoolz hit me up, or he put me on.
Shout out to Spoolz too, DJ Spoolz.
To them when I heard the Mr. T joint, I was like, whoa. Let's rewind that. Let's get involved with this.
Yeah, for sure.
I like the project. I'm telling you, if you're a fan, you're going to be into it. Like for other people, like you'd be like, "There's no sunshine on this album," and that's fine.
It's not supposed to happen.
Because this is wintertime, all gray.
That's I heard somebody made a joke. It sounded like the dudes in Griselda never had a really good day. Like they never had that weekend.
Cold and rainy.
Be like, man, everything was hitting this weekend.
Man.
But
that joint is hard though, man.
No, I mean, like I said, all I can say is a perfect wintertime grimy album.
That's Dame. I'm sorry, I watched the Dame interview earlier. I'm sorry.
So if you're a fan, then you're they made it for the people who are already fans.
For sure.
I can see other people having a little hard time getting into it.
It ain't for everybody though. It's not for everybody.
It's not the most accessible.
This ain't a mainstream record.
Yeah,
nah.
This ain't nothing you're gonna hear on the radio.
Not at all.
Say that.
Maybe Shay 45.
Yeah,
you'll hear it on there.
But
they'll run it back on there.
Yeah.
They'll start it and run it back on.
No party records. You know what I'm saying?
If you're looking for grimy hip hop that has a nostalgic feel, but it's still updated, from production standpoint, and just dudes rapping their ass off like about street shit, it don't get no better than that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
The only difference to me, before you jump in, Terry, the only difference from this project as opposed to any other Griselda project is the production style.
Yeah.
That's it. And it's still the same style. It's just how they attacked it.
You put me on game with that. I didn't think about it like that until you said that. Now I'm going to listen to it differently because there are not that many vocal samples. You don't hear a lot of chopping.
It's layered.
It's layered, yeah.
And when you hear layers, you know that it's actually played.
I know what that means, yeah. So, Jay, did you have anything?
Yeah, I listened. I didn't make it all the way through it, but I did listen enough to know what's going on because I'm not new to Griselda.
For sure.
So, it's East Coast rap.
Heavy. Yeah.
Top to bottom. If you're looking for an authentic East Coast sounding album, this is probably your best bet right now.
This Niagara Falls rap, this ain't East Coast.
Yeah. Oh, and for those of you who need this in your life, there is an Eminem verse on there.
Yeah. It's about 2.5 minutes and changes the entire song. And I ain't catch all of it, but I know it's cold from what I heard.
And shout out to them for having both a cosign from Eminem and Jay-Z.
Yes. With an album that's got 50 on it as well. Talk about full circle.
They got 50. Crazy. They got 50 to rap, huh?
Yeah, I'm talking about rap though. Like he actually sounds good.
I didn't make it to that joint. I just listened.
Like, it sound like old 50. I will say that.
Mixtape 50.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy though? Like people talk shit about 50 as far as him rapping.
Yeah.
50 does not need to rap anymore.
Nah, he don't need it no more.
The dude is executive producing everything on TV quietly right now.
First of all, 50 first two for sure. Went diamond? Like,
no, I'm gonna give him his first two was solid as fuck.
I mean, Get Rich or Die Trying to me is, if it ain't a classic, it's close.
Massacre was.
Oh no, it's a classic.
It's a classic. Okay, I mean, I'm not mad at that. I'm just saying.
Massacre was.
You can hate on it if
way.
you want, but
there's no way it's not.
That album was amazing. Like he
had like 9 beats from Dr. Dre.
Come on, man.
That doesn't even.
Yeah. So once he comes out with that in the Massacre, and then Curtis is like, man,
vitamin water. So Ja Rule ain't got a prayer for fucking 50 Cent, bro.
He need to give that up.
But that's even more so. That's also why it's dope to see 50 on this Griselda project.
True. True.
Ja Rule was in the cookout though.
I just seen the cookout yesterday.
He also had them leftover Thanksgiving sandwiches at that festival. So
them wasn't even leftover Thanksgiving quality.
Yeah.
That was like the shit that you would give to the kid whose palate isn't developed yet.
No, those were worse. Those were worse. Them joints was worse than the summer lunches.
Cheese and tomato sandwich.
Man.
Yeah. Remember, you used to hoop. You go to the summer program and hoop and, hang out at the school. Like, it's worse than those.
That's what they give you when you go on like a boat ride, when you go snorkeling and shit. Because they want you to be full.
Yeah.
So when you get back on the boat, they give you like a cheese sandwich with some butter and shit.
Yeah. But these people didn't.
That seems awful.
Yeah, they thought they was getting.
Kind of good, though.
Oh.
When you think about it.
Cheese sandwich with some butter. Huh?
I'm telling you, it's kind of good.
You
gotta go to Aruba to get you one.
What you know about
butter bread? You looking at me smiling, man. Stop looking at me.
What you know about butter bread?
Stop looking at me, man.
It's
butter bread sandwich, man.
Yeah, it's old school.
Yeah.
It'll work.
I didn't know if it was Southern or not.
Nah, that's Arubian if that's the thing.
Your mama will make it work, though, if she need to.
Margarine bread? I don't know.
Oh, my God.
Parquet.
Can't believe it's not butter bread.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Anyway.
50 out here eating, though.
Yeah, bottom line, because I'm not listening to him. All right, so speaking of New York real quick, Fab dropped Summertime Shootout. I know you didn't want to listen. I was disappointed, man.
I don't know, but this bitch regular.
Listen, man, and I'm a Fab fan. I'm talking about Soul Tapes, the first 2 Summertime Shootouts.
Man.
But this, to me, sounds like one of his homies was in the studio like, yo, you should be lit. Like, I want you to make, like, lit music. Like,
it wasn't lit, though.
No, but I'm just saying, like.
It was as in let me down.
That's a bar right there.
Hey, I'm sorry. Hey, Fab's my guy, man. And,
hey, the Meek feature was trash.
But you don't want to make let music.
I don't want to make let music.
You don't want to make let music.
For all these 1,000 features that he has on here, I'm talking about Chris Brown, Tiana Taylor, Roddy Ricch, Gucci, PNB Rock, 2 Chainz, Jeremiah, Jacquees, the king of whatever the fuck, Tory Lanez, A Boogie, Meek Mill. I'm like, this project was a super letdown. Like, I was so hurt. Like, it really.
I'm
Let the
not
church say
surprised.
amen.
I'm not impressed, man. I'm sorry. Fab can still rap now. I ain't gonna say he can't rap.
I mean, he started off the first couple songs.
Cold Summer was cold.
cool.
Yeah.
Then we
And
got
then-
into the Chicago Bulls thing, back on my bullshit.
Yeah,
like
got
I was
into
like,
that.
okay, he's rapping, and then I was like, yeah,
Got
Nah.
to that Meek Mill joint. I'm like, okay. I'm thinking
That was
it's about to be
mid to
solid.
me. That was mid.
Man, that shit was whack.
Yeah, man.
And they got
I'm
into
cool.
my guy from Chicago, not Bibby.
Who? I got the track list right
What's
here.
his name?
Herbo?
No,
Nah,
not Dirk.
Herbo.
Lil Dirk.
Lil Durk.
Oh.
Yeah, 𝐷𝐿𝐿. You know, he got the cereal 𝐷𝐿𝐿 and shit.
Does
Nah,
he?
I'm too old for that. I don't know nothing
Yeah.
about that.
Man,
I mean, I hope it
shit,
worked,
man.
but I'm too
You
old.
not
no,
eat
it was just
cereal?
disappointing.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got cereal.
You don't eat cereal as a grown up?
No, I'm not eating no 𝗏𝗀𝐿𝐿s.
Eat you some almond milk, man. You
Huh?
know, eat some 𝗏𝗀𝐿𝐿s.
If I get some almond milk, I might try some 𝗏𝗀𝐿𝐿s.
Being there eating bologna sandwiches.
Dirk,
You know he want a
Dirk
bologna
been
sandwich.
consistent though on the low though.
I bet you'd eat
he'll drop a
bologna
sweet.
sandwich cereal.
I eat a bologna sandwich,
Yeah,
but you got to peel the red off. Stop, y'all! Stop looking at me like that, man. All right,
He wants some white Wonder Bread so it'll
more.
stick to the top of his mouth.
he's petty.
know that.
He's petty.
Mike and his treat meats.
Stop, man. Y'all the only people that like salami, man. That's stupid.
No, we're
no,
not.
plenty of people like salami.
Y'all be picking the peppers out of salami. That's stupid.
No, you just eat it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Comment.
You know what?
Let's tally comments and bologna versus salami.
Yeah,
Yeah, go to
Put it in the
Shapiro's and
comments.
ask for some
Here you
bologna.
go.
You got some high end bologna.
Bologna.
Can I
Yeah.
get some thin sliced bologna?
You don't like bologna?
They'd be like, "You want some high end bologna? You mean salami?"
Salami's trash. All right, so Game dropped Born to Rap, and it's got like 55 songs on it.
It ain't
But,
quite 40.
Here's the thing, though, man. Game is the only person that can stretch out an album with like 55 songs on it, and I'm like, dang, it got
And
a good
30
vibe
on
to
name
it, though.
drop Dre.
Yeah,
Or
Oh
somebody.
yeah, did you guys hear that he used to work with Dr. Dre?
Say it ain't so.
Yeah,
say what?
Get out of here.
yeah,
But
I
the
mean, I
album
heard him
got
say
heat,
it a bunch of times,
but
but I
the
didn't
album
know.
got heat on it though.
yeah.
Dre
all,
passed him a
he-
joint.
hey,
Yeah.
all
Dre
all
Yeah.
jokes aside, this
He got some heat on this album.
This Game album is actually pretty good.
Yeah.
Best Nipsey feature I've heard since he's passed.
Very good Nipsey
Unless I like the joint with John Legend and Khaled, but I can't get past the
We
BET Awards with him standing by the piano screaming like Nipsey Hussle, Nipsey Hussle, put your hands up for Nipsey Hussle, y'all.
Is that your-
Higher.
If you don't know, that's
Higher.
Stop.
Yeah, that's his
Stop.
DJ Khaled
Stop.
impression.
John Legend over there singing his ass off, and this motherfucker jumping up higher. Put him up for Nipsey, y'all. Nipsey higher.
Yeah, please
Shut
stop.
up, man.
Can we insert the you know when Monique does the can we insert that on here,
Man.
Mike? Can we
Yeah.
can we
That'd
do
be
that?
a me thing.
Post production, Long gonna
Yeah.
take care of that.
That'd
Yeah,
be-
Long
You got
take
it?
care of that,
Okay.
yeah.
I don't have it, but I could guess I
Okay.
can.
Mike could find it.
Mike
But nah, Game usually have heat though.
It sounded good from what I heard. It was just a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot, man. It's 25 joints on here, if I'm not mistaken.
He makes good records, man. but
Facts.
Like if you take each song and you break them down as singles, and you don't think about the name dropping, he makes good records.
Definitely does.
You know,
1992, his last album, 1992. That
five.
shit was hitting.
But if
Yeah.
you listen to it over and over and over again on an album,
Yeah.
it's just a lot, man.
But I tell you who he has great chemistry with though, and that's Marsha Ambrosius.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
They
that's
got
a fantastic.
great chemistry.
You know, because I was afraid of the Nipsey. Okay, here Nipsey tribute record, but this one was good.
It's very good.
You know, his Chris Brown feature was good. You know,
Yeah.
like the at first when I saw Ed Sheeran, I was like, really? But the way it bookends the album, it works. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
the skits go into each other. I was like,
he's got a good ear.
I was
He has a
impressed.
very
'cause,
good ear.
I mean, the joint he has with Anderson .Paak that we talked about a few weeks ago. You know, I like that better now when listening to it within the sequence of the entire album.
the thing I give Game the most credit about, or give credit to him,
His
about
artistic
is
ideas.
what the fact that his albums sound like a West Coast rapper. Like the soundscape, the way
As
he
it
picks the
should.
samples, it sounds like it's supposed to be from out there. You know what I mean? How they how everything is put together, it sounds good. You know what I'm saying? Like we got Chicago albums sound like Atlanta albums to me, or what sounded like Southern
the whole
albums.
country.
Sound like Atlanta.
I
albums.
stand corrected. You know what I'm talking about. But it's good to hear an album have a West Coast vibe, that be consistent throughout the whole thing. It, hear him talking about the culture out there, and it was real personal too. Talking about his kids, and he had a record for Nip after the joint that he had to feature for. So it's good, man. Just my critique is just, 25 records, man. Like that's a lot.
If he cut it down to like 13 or 14,
mess around and have a classic.
Or
be working towards one, I should say.
Yeah, but
still,
good
Game has
album.
one classic.
Aside from the crazy record cover, it's that's the only thing I can.
What
really
is the meaning behind that? That cover.
Man.
It's a bunch of pregnant girls.
It's like those girls are birthing hip hop songs. I don't know.
We talked about it a couple episodes ago.
Yeah, we did.
I'm cool.
I think it was the episode you were gone.
Okay.
We had a whole segment on it.
Yeah, I'm cool on the cover. But the project overall got some slappers for sure.
What do you say next week? Maybe we can tackle what Offset said.
We can do Offset. Also, shout out to the homie Ad too.
We already talked
the musical.
about it.
We gotta talk. We gotta definitely go through that one. That's some heat.
Yeah.
But we talked about it already.
Kinda.
Well, kinda.
We did. Yeah. We definitely mentioned it, but I'll go ahead and say it's one of my favorites of the year so far.
He's tough, man. He's tough.
Yeah.
𝐀𝐿 Hardison starting that joint out, narrating. That's tough.
Only thing I'm mad about on that album is the Fonte feature.
I thought it was gonna be something else.
It really wasn't a Fonte feature.
He got me on
I figured
that.
that's what
Got
it was
me.
going to be. I figured that's what it was going to be.
But it was good though. It's still good.
I needed 16, but it's cool though. We ain't gonna worry about it.
It was kind of like that that Nas feature that was supposed to be on Dave East.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was very similar to that.
Having Fonte even do what he did though, it's
That's
a
solid.
good look. You know what
I
I'm
ain't
saying?
mad at it.
A 16 would have been perfect though.
Yeah.
Them two together on a 16 with 16s, that's tough.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm with it.
I'm with it. All right, so I think that's gonna do it. Did I forget anything? Did I miss anything?
Nope.
That's it.
Wrap it up, B. I ain't moving that damn thing no
I
more.
feel For the entire crew, I am Major 7th. Make sure you guys go to YouTube, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. Make sure you check out our Patreon /DoOldHeads as well. We need your support. We are trying to grow this thing to make it do what it do for next year. We appreciate the support as always, and we will see y'all next week. Peace.
See ya.